Alright, welcome to part 3 for the Raiders rebuild. As you can see, we are in week 19, or week 9. We have a 3-5 record. 2 more games until our bye week. One game we did play. So before we get into simulating, we're going to check out individual stats to kind of see how everyone looks as we're about the halfway mark. Jaden Daniels, 1,952 yards, 19 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. Completion percentage could be better, but 18 sacks. Did get sacked quite a bit in the game I played, unfortunately. Madison, 125 rushing attempts for 432 yards. Only 3.5 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Myers already has 821 yards on 48 receptions, 10 touchdowns. Adams, only 30 catches, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. Meyer, 20 catches, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns. Our best lineman, 6 sacks allowed. 4 for James, 4 for Parham, and 2 for Mims. He did get a star dev, so that's good. Unfortunately, his morale is low. Alright, let's check out defense. Tackles for loss, Max Crosby leading the way with 12. Tyree Wilson, 6. That's good to see. They're also the top 2 in sacks. Crosby with 6, Wilson with 4, Pierce with 2. Interceptions, our rookie corner has 1, Hobbs 1, and our rookie linebacker 1. Wilson also has 2 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery. Hobbs has 1 forced fumble and 1 recovery. I guess we're not great in the takeaways department, but let's check. Yeah, we're not. 14 team sacks, whereas the top teams are in the 20s. Interceptions were, among the fewest. Bills with 1, Cards, Packers, Broncos, Seahawks 2, and then Raiders and Cowboys 3. We are at the top with fumble recoveries, though. But also at the top with points allowed. At the top for the rushing yards allowed. And second in passing yards allowed. First total yards. offense. Probably middle of the pack, it looked like. We are up there for passing yards. 7th. Rushing yards near the bottom. Points per game. 22.1, so we're probably in the middle. Passing touchdowns, 2nd. Rushing touchdowns, near the bottom again. So our passing game seems to be fine, it's just the rushing game, and defense is also not as good as it was last season. So then again, that was based on the real life team, and you never know how Madden in real life translates. A lot of times this is playbook based, unfortunately. Manage staff. As I said in a previous episode, we're going to focus a lot on the after school tutoring just to get as many players in the extra tutoring. And the Rams 4-4. They do have a better overall than them, but keep that as is. Daniels, Mims. Looks good to me. We're gonna start. Alright, let's simulate this. And we lose 16-10. One new injury. Jaden Daniels, oh man. 6 weeks. Foot fracture. That's sad. Well, I guess it's Minshew time. Breakout lineman. Oh, Tyree Wilson. I don't know if the food they're serving the team cafeteria or what, but I've been on fire recently. Last week was the best game of the season for me. I want to be one of those guys who can do that every week. I'm ready to take the next step, man, so let's bring it to the Steelers. Sounds good to me. Get Tyree Wilson 1+ interception, force fumble, tackle for loss, sack. I would love that. 3-6 heading into week 10. So yeah, Gardner Minshew. Man, everyone's morale is just down. Before we simulate, we're going to check, I want to see what Wilson did. Well, 3 tackles for a loss. That's pretty good. Crosby did have 2 sacks. No takeaways, though. Daniels must have got hurt early. 12 attempts. Another weak rushing game. Maybe we'll get a decent first-round pick again after that injury. Pittsburgh, 79 offense, 84 defense, 81 overall, so... I'm gonna go short pass. Jesus, morale dropped. Even though all the motivations are in green, but... Alright, let's hope for a win here. And we did get the win. Let's see. Breakout player. Nice. Wilson got the dev trade upgrade. That was one of our goals to start off the rebuild. We were hoping that he would come into form, or at least, you know, increase the dev trait. Assistant GM wants us to take a look at Kevin Quinn. Alright, we're gonna just do our scouting, focus on player. We are going to look at left outside linebacker for sure. Looks like great. Looks like pretty promising attributes there. Pretty promising there too, aside from strength. Do both of them, at least for now. He's got promising ratings too. I don't know how I missed the national scouting focus. I must have messed up some up. But we're gonna do these two. Middle linebacker. Yeah, I think we're gonna just focus on the linebacker. 2 left outside, 1 middle. We're going to unlock another focus player. Let's see who we can upgrade here. Tyree Wilson, 4 skill points. Wow. Power. Nice. Got him up to 77 overall. How is Vegas not considered a big enough market? Mims. Alright, time to simulate the bye week. Four and 6 going against the 5-5 Chargers. Let's see, weekly strategy. He's got, yeah, we're leave it there, I guess. Run outside with Joey. I don't know. I think I'd rather throw it short in that scenario, but or if Bosa's on the outside, I'd rather run inside, I guess. I don't know. What do we have? Storm Duck. Okay. Oh yeah, Daniels can't be in there because he's hurt right now. Alright, let's advance. Oof. 31-14 loss. That's yeah, that's not pretty. Michael Pierce. Well, the Browns are 3-8, even though they're 85 overall across the board. That's interesting, for sure. AFC North. The Steelers are 2-9. Jets 4-7. Jeez. How they're almost last in attempts in both. Rushing inside and outside. I'm going to go with inside run. And yeah, throw a short. Don't want to deal with Myles Garrett too much. Alright, let's see if we can beat the Browns or not. And we do a 38-0. Wow. One new injury though. Let's see who that is. Zamir White, dislocated hip. 3 weeks for him, 2 weeks left for Daniels. Max Crosby seems to be happy at least. Or somewhat happy. Got 10 sacks, 13 tackles for a loss. Wow, Minshew had a great game, 4 touchdowns. .143 rushing yards too. Jeez. Deshaun Watson 4 picks. Nick Chubb only had 46 rushing yards too. Adams only had 1 catch for 16 yards. Wow. Madison 79 yards. Let's see the defense. Crosby 2 sacks. Wilson, Butler, tackle for loss. Who got the picks? Epps got 2. Hobbs got 1. Christopher Smith had 1 as well. Crosby's not that far behind in sacks. Chris Jones 16, TJ Watt 14.5, Aaron Donald 13, Von Miller 12.5. Jeez, the Bills have 2 guys at 12.5. Wow. Chargers 6-6, Raiders 5-7. I like how they are now recommending run inside. Given Bosa's outside. Automatically do them. Focus on the line on that, since that's the weaker positions, and Mayer at least has it, or Mayer has at least a star dev. And wow, we picked up another win, 24-21 over the Chargers. Is that Minshew magic again, or I wonder what? 386 offensive yards. Another solid day on the ground and passing game. Minshew 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Yeah, he had a good game. Madison 68 rushing yards. Only 3.1 yards per carry, but got a lot of carries at least. Myers, 3 touchdowns, 125 yards. Jeez. Adams only 68. He might be a trade candidate in the offseason. I'm not sure. Mims 2 sacks allowed. tackles for loss. Crosby 1.5 sacks. Epps 1 pick. Fumbles. Probably not in the playoff picture yet, but Jaguars are the 7 seed. Although we're not too far out, actually. Jaguars are 7-6, and we are 6-7. I guess I did say I thought the Raiders this year, heading into the season, would be a little above 4 wins, but not necessarily a playoff team, but still a little surprised given 80 overall across the board. And again, one of the wins was one I was playing. So I suppose it could be 5-8. But I guess we'll never know. Alright, weekly strategy. I guess we'll keep it medium. I don't know. I was debating on doing short, but blitz counter. Yeah, that's fair. Daniels is still hurt. Okay. One more week. The Panthers might be, well, I don't want to change it, but 78 overall, 76 defense. So we will see. I did see the Raiders overall on defense did go up to 81. And we fall 26-22. A close one, though. Let's see who the new injury is. Pierce, that'll be a blow to the defensive line. 4 weeks. So he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. Let's check the depth chart. Make sure Daniels is back in the starter. No, he's not. Okay. I suppose if this was the real life football, there probably would have been some debate over, do you put the rookie back in or do you keep Minshew, since, you know, he's quote unquote the hot hand. Unless he had a horrible game this game. Let's see. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Maybe not hot. Not much in the ground game either. But Minshew did have solid games before, so that probably would have been enough to. Some debate sports show would have had a segment on it, probably. Or Las Vegas sports radio, at least. Who knows? Throw it short. Good to see Jack Jones is getting an upgrade, although his morale is too low for it to take effect. So, Brendan Rice, deep threat, jumped him up. Wouldn't mind seeing him get an increase in his dev. Let's see. 6-8 Raiders, 5-9 Broncos, 83 offense, 81 defense, 82 overall. Pretty tight race at the bottom of the AFC West, though, and then there's the Chiefs. 3 to 5 games ahead of everyone, so time to advance. And we pull out a win, 27-20. Check the box score of that. Over 100 rushing yards. 1 turnover. 2 rookies, Cam Ward and Jaden Daniels, faced off. Looked like Ward had a pretty solid game, 13 of 17, 2 touchdowns, 209 yards. Daniels, though, was solid in his return, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns, 20 of 33. Love to see it. Madison had 68 rushing yards. Daniels had 20. Myers had another great game in the 114 yards, 1 touchdown. Adams only 3 catches, 39 yards, but did have a touchdown. Meyer also had 1 touchdown, but only 22 yards. Crosby another 2 sacks. Spillane forced a fumble and recovered it. Well, 7-8 heading into the final 2 weeks of the season. That's not too terrible. I guess my comment about maybe the Raiders would get a solid draft pick now that Daniels was hurt. That didn't turn out that way, but taking on the Falcons, they're 9-7. Let's review the playoff picture. Jaguars are still 7, the 7th seed. Chiefs number 1, Ravens 2, Jaguars 7, Colts, Titans 3-6, Bills 4, Bengals 5. And in the NFC, Cowboys 1, Niners 2, Rams 7, Falcons 3, Giants 6, Vikings 4, Tampa Bay 5. Drake May, Superstar Dev. D-Pass. Yeah, let's leave it at deep pass. Keep that. It's crazy that we're actually not too far off from the 7th seed. Jaguars, Texans, Bills, Titans 8-6, 1. Cool. They tied. Well, I assume our playoff chances are going to fall with this game, but Storm Duck makes me think of DuckTales. Or Nightwing Duck. That one too. Let's upgrade staff before we get into simulating. Alright, let's see. Do we improve to 8-8 or do we fall to 7-9? We do fall to 7-9, although it was only an 11-point game, 35-24. Legarius Sneed placed on the IR. Oh, Max Crosby is now in the lead with 20 sacks. Atlanta scored 21 points in the 4th quarter. Wow. Oh, man. So they had a 17-14 lead going into the 4th. That's gotta hurt. Both rookies had solid games, 3 touchdowns each. Did sack May 3 times though. Although only 48% completion percentage, 13 of 27. Not great on the ground. 30 yards for Madison. Only 5 attempts. 23 rushing yards. Myers had another great game, though. Almost 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Crosby, 2 sacks. Wilson, 1 sack. Butler, 3 tackles for loss. So, final week of the season, can we finish 8-9 again, or are we going to, fall to 7-10? Let's throw it short. Jaden Daniels, upgrade him, 73 overall. I was hoping we'd get to see his dev rate increase, but that hasn't happened yet. Still have time, though. And he did miss 6 weeks. Whoops, I meant to, didn't mean to hit B. His morale is low too. Unfortunate. Now we're going to do quarterback. Alright, let's see if we can take care of the Broncos. And we do. We'd finish 8-9 again. 21-14 win over Denver. Mims has an upgrade available. His morale is making a -2. Only 32 morale, jeez. Contract extended. Playoff bracket looks about the same as it was before. Chiefs 1, Ravens 2, Bills 7. Jaguars moved up to 3. They placed the 6th seed Texans. Miami Dolphins are at 4, Bengals at 5, NFC, Cowboys 1, 2nd seed Niners take on 7th seed Rams, 3-seed Falcons take on the 6-seed Buccaneers. 4-seed Vikings take on the 5th-seed Giants. Alright, let's sit with the Super Bowl. The Battle of Texas, Houston Texans, Dallas Cowboys. Wow, the Chiefs were upset in this divisional round. Dolphins beat the Bengals, then the Ravens beat the Dolphins. Texans edged out the Ravens. Wow. Cowboys beat the Giants in this divisional round 35-24. Falcons beat the Niners 14-7, and the Cowboys just barely beat the Falcons 17-6. Well, I assume Dallas will win since they're the simulation darlings in Madden, it seems like. Upgrade Max Crosby. Alright, time to simulate again. Get to the off season. Yep, the Cowboys won it. $42-21. Gross. Patrick Mahomes, MVP. Mike McCarthy, Coach of the Year. Ooh, Jacoby Myers, Offensive Player of the Year. And Max Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year. Not a bad year for Raiders individually. Caleb Williams, Rookie of the Year. Jared Verse, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I wonder what Williams' stats were, and if Daniels would have, if he didn't miss 6 games. $3,595 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 picks. Well, I think there's a good chance that Daniels may have won Rookie of the Year if he didn't get hurt. That's unfortunate. Did throw 9 picks, but I guess you never know what would have happened in those 6 games. But Minshew did throw 13 touchdowns, only 4 picks and 1,200 yards. So. Madison, just under 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns receiving. Myers just needed 1 more catch for 1,673 yards, 22 touchdowns. Devontae Adams only 7 touchdowns, 833 yards. Mayer, 681, and 6 touchdowns. Let's look at sacks allowed first. Mims ended up first with 14. Miller did start, I think last time we looked he had 6 allowed, which was first on the team. Still ended up second, but only allowing 2 in the second half of the season is pretty good. On to the defensive side. Crosby and Wilson led the way for tackles for loss. 17 for Crosby, 14 for Wilson. Crosby had 21.5 sacks. Wilson had 5.5. Spillane and Pierce 2.5 each. Interceptions, Epps and Hobbs 3, Smith 2. Crosby was not, or Myers was not that far away from getting up into the top of the list for most receiving yards in a season. And he does have the 3rd highest receiving touchdowns. He was just 2 behind Randy Moss's record. Defensive sacks, 22. Well, Crosby was half a sack away. Well, not bad. The Raiders did let go Jacobs, and we did also do that. And yeah, it didn't do too much outside of what the Raiders actually did in real life. Aside from the draft, obviously can't simulate that too much, or can't account for that too much, I guess. I don't know. Madden is weird that way. Yeah, you'd have to start in 2023 if you want to download a roster from the file share. It's weird. View retirements. Harrison Smith. I kind of assumed Aaron Rodgers would have been retiring. Alright, well, next episode we will get into the off season. Thank you for checking it out.